What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. We got to get right to it. Ford dropped a bombshell on us, and the bombshell, if you haven't heard that I'm speaking of, is the brand new 7.3 liter V8 engine. And you're probably thinking, well, what's the big deal? It's a little bigger, but probably just another version of a 6.2 liter, the old Raptor engine, right? No, that's why it's a bombshell. We got to get into this because this is major, and there's a lot of things we can take away from this. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive in. We're going to see what's up with the brand new mega 7.3 liter, the new big block from Ford. Let's go. Okay, guys. So again, why is this such a bombshell? Here's the reason. This is not an overhead cam engine. This is not a variant of the 6.2. This is not a variant of the Coyote, the 5.4s, none of those engines. This is a cam-in block overhead valve engine, just like the old 8.2 and 9.5 deck, Windsor-based Ford small blocks. Now, before you go thinking this has anything to do with an 8.2 deck or 9.5 deck Windsor-based small block, zero, absolutely nothing is even similar to the old Ford small blocks. I watched at length and did quite a bit of research on these engines last night. What it boiled down to from the engineers was for super duty use and commercial use, commercial trucks from Ford. These engines make more sense because they are more narrow in scope as far as the overall width of the engine, which wider engine, which the overhead cam engines produce a lot of different issues when you are putting them in different vehicles. So that was one of the reasons stated. And then the next reason stated was, they basically said in a nutshell, a larger cam-in block engine makes better low-speed torque, which is what you need in a Super Duty truck, and doesn't need as much the higher revving, higher breathing capabilities of a overhead cam engine. So that was basically reason number two of why the cam-in block 7.3 liter, which is essentially 445 cubic inches, big. Okay, guys, so real quick, let's talk about the engine itself. And again, I did a bunch of research last night and got some of the high points on the engine. It does have a polymer intake, looks very similar to a Coyote intake. It is a long runner style plastic intake. It's a roller cam design. It has oil cooling jets to cool the bottoms of the pistons. It's got cast stainless manifolds. They're not the log style. They look similar to a header design, but they are cast. Let's see. There's no exact power numbers yet. I looked everywhere for even some sort of inclination as far as what the power would be. Don't have those yet. They do have variable cam timing, which I'm assuming would be similar to like the Dodge and the GM engines that have it in the lifter. So it does have variable cam timing. 6-bolt main blocks, 4 vertical, 2 horizontal. So it's a 6-bolt main block, super strong, super beefy. It is an iron block, so it's made to be, it's made to handle it, which to me says it can handle turbo, it can handle night. Okay, we'll cover that in a minute. Let's see. The reasoning and why they came up with 7.3, according to the Ford engineer, he said they did a lot of testing, and they said an engine is most efficient when it is running at stowage as far as the air and fuel. So they perform a battery of tests. I don't know what all they are. I'm not an engineer and I don't work for Ford. But they essentially did a bunch of calculations and ended up coming up with 7.3, which ironically is very similar to the old school 460s, which again, this is nothing like a 460. So that's the nuts and bolts of the engine. It's pretty interesting. It remains to see what kind of power and all that it's going to make, but let's talk about possibilities here for a minute. Okay, guys, so when we talk about possibilities, obviously, yes, this engine is slated to go in the new Super Duty trucks. So, my thinking obviously is swap. Yes, I want to swap it. So if you have a notch body or anything, no, I'm just kidding. No, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So anyway, but hopefully there is a, I hope you can buy the engine, from Ford, or obviously they're going to pop up, in junkyards as they get wrecked and stuff, down the road. But, what else? What other kind of possibilities are there for this engine? My second thought is the Raptor. I know there's a lot of people that don't buy Raptors for the simple fact that they don't want the EcoBoost. So there's a very real possibility the 7.5 is going to end up in the Raptor. Maybe. I don't know. Again, I'm just speculating. Raptors are selling like hotcakes. They can't keep them on the lot. So, maybe the non-V8 hate is not as bad as I thought. Who knows? Do I think this will ever find its way into a Mustang from the factory? No. I don't think there's any chance Ford's going to put it in a Mustang. But again, I also didn't think there was any chance they were going to make another cam and block engine. So there's that. Okay, guys, circling back around, definitely swaps. I don't know what the, as far as the bell housing bolt pattern. I mean, we don't know anything about this engine. We don't know what kind of power it makes. But, if I'm speculating, I'm saying, take out the VCT lifters, put stock lifter, a standard style lifter in it, put a custom ground cam in it, and headers, cold air intake, maybe a short runner intake like a Holly, like a Sniper or something like that. And 445 cubic inch engine is going to do work. So that's kind of my train of thought is this engine's going to be it's big, and it's going to make big numbers either way. And this is going to be a fantastic opportunity for somebody who maybe they're not down with the modular engines, maybe they're a little too complicated, or maybe they've got like an old school, like a Fairlane or something like that, or a Thunderbolt or something like that, where maybe they think a modular engine maybe just a little bit too new. So this could kind of bridge that gap as far as, it's still a pushrod engine, but you also have that newer technology. And okay, guys, so what do we know as of right now? The engine is going into production. It's slated to be in the 2020 F-250 and up Super Duty versions and whatever commercial vehicles Ford puts out. We know it's a pushrod motor, which is crazy. Ford hasn't done a pushrod motor since what, 97 was the last year of the production pushrod motors, like the 460s and the 5.8s and the old Super Duty trucks. So this is big. This is news, and this is it's curious to me. Like, I understand the reasoning, but as starting way back in 1992 when Ford started moving everything to the modular engines, it's just curious to me that they went back to it and didn't try to find it as far as the issues with making enough power in a gasoline engine for a heavy duty truck. Why they didn't explore other avenues. They kind of went back old school, which I think is cool. It's and I'm not questioning their motives or anything like that. It was it's just something that I was not expecting, so of course I'm curious about it. But that's what we know. I promise I'm gonna be all over this, and I promise if we can get our hands on one, you'll see one in a Fox body very soon. All right, guys, so that is what is up. I actually got to credit my buddy Evan J. Smith at Official Ford Guy on Instagram. Used to ride for Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords. Now he's kind of does a little bit of everything for different entities in the Ford world, and he broke this news officially, and so I had to shout him out, and that kind of got me on it, and I dove in and found some of my own information, tried to get some of the high points for you. But again, I'm going to be on top of this, and we're going to see what happens with this engine. Really looking forward to specs on it, so keep it tuned right here for that, and it's going to be interesting. Never know what we'll be able to do with this. Put some AFR heads on it and Flowtech induction cam, and yeah, whatever. We'll figure all that out. But that is what's up, guys. Keep it tuned right here. Again, May 4th, Jackson, Tennessee, Jackson Dragway. I rented out the track. Be there for the Ford Takeover 2019. And, of course, Ford versus the World, the street drag race after that. And we're just going to keep doing work. Keep an eye out for all the Coyote Swap updates. They just keep rolling in. Man, we got a lot coming in. So that is what's up, guys. Keep it tuned right here. Big thumbs up. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, and catch up with you next time. Later.